I did a song. Evening all. Today all my cables are getting messed up. Today I'm talking about the Behringer TD-3. There's a whole bunch of videos about this, obviously, on YouTube. This is mine. Mine's in this delicious kind of neo-numb red, Deadpool red. It's a second-hand unit. I saw it for sale a couple of weeks ago, good price. So I thought, give it a punt. My first experience with computer music was a friend gave me or lent me Rebirth, which was Propeller Head's kind of computer emulation of the 303 and the 404, the 505, 80, I don't know, like that Roland set of instruments from the 80s. So definitely that kind of 303 kind of thing was definitely, you know, something I experienced early on in my computer music life. When they first released this, I didn't immediately think I'm going to run out and buy one immediately. But, you know, if you consider second-hand price around £100, $100, €100, kind of a no-brainer. So yeah, if you only want to watch this first 2 minutes of this video, yes, I've done an art pack that will be available in my coffee shop. Link below. It'll be free. It's my Christmas present to you. Happy Christmas. And two, the summary is, out of the box, didn't really inspire me straight away, but working, like creating the art patterns, sort of playing with it and having that hands-on control that obviously you get with a piece of hardware, and then also mixing a little demo that maybe I'll put on the end of this video. You get some good sounds. Yeah, I mean, you haven't got a massive amount of parameters, as we'll see, but kind of almost, you know, that those limitations are you know, are inspiring in their own way. But what you do have is you know, there's enough there to get some nice variations of sounds, but also some really nice, you know, some nice ripping kind of bass lines. Yeah, I like it. So I'm not using any of the internal patterns just for these demos. These are my own arps that I've made for you for the art pack. In terms of the parameters, we've got filter cutoff and filter resonance. So that's working as a low pass filter, I guess. Doesn't completely sort of kill the sound. We've got envelope and decay, which subtly shape the sound. Don't really have a massive amount going on there. And accents, I don't really know what accent's doing. That might make more sense if using internal programs. We have that set to a square wave and set to a triangle wave. And with the filter and cutoff, get some nice rippy sounds. And then over in this corner we've got the distortion, which is now on. So we've got the distortion amount, so we can turn the distortion right off. We have a tone control. And then a level for the distortion, which won't quite mute it. If I turn everything down, pretty much muted. And then we can have the distortion off. Obviously master volume, You also have a tempo dial there. I guess if you're not sort of clocking this and just using it on its own. And then obviously all the other controls for sort of setting the patterns, replaying the patterns, or editing the patterns, or selecting the patterns. In terms of sort of patching, we've got filter in. That's nice because then we can use the onboard filter. So I'm interested to compare the sound of that filter versus, say, my Dofa filter I've got on my little modular system. It's got sync in, but it doesn't have sync out, which again just seems a little peculiar. So that means, like, if you were syncing, you know, so I wanted to sync up my, let's just take that out, my Volca sample. I've then got, I guess this has got sync out and sync in. That's only got sync in, so I'd have to have this at the start of my chain in terms of my syncing chain, and then that at the end. So I guess that's always got to go at the end of whatever you're syncing up. Which, I don't know, would it seem more sensible to have that at the start of the chain and then sync other things from that, since that's got the onboard sequencer? So just having the sync in just seems a little odd. Plus it's got the USB in and it's got the normal DIN MIDI in, so you can sync it from MIDI. So I don't know why you'd necessarily need to sync it. Yeah, that seems a little odd. But anyway, you've got control voltage out, but not control voltage in. Which again, does that make sense? So that means I can send CV out from the onboard sequencer. That makes sense. However, what we know is, let's take these off, the onboard sequencer is quite hard to program. So unless you came, you know, in MIDI, in through here, then CV out, then you could control something like a, say like the Volca modular with a CV in. That might be a thing, that might work. Gate out, I'm trying to think how that would be useful. I guess for controlling some kind of modular setup. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, that the gate out, that's intriguing, because that might make for some interesting messing around, playing around. Don't know. Yeah, that's worth investigating further. And then finally, a phone's out. That makes sense. I was going to say you can sit on the bus and play this, but you can't, because it doesn't take batteries. It is just powered from a 9-volt adapter. So, but you know, at least they've got, you know, they've got the phones. It's a 3.5mm. It's in a sensible place as well. It's not hidden around the back. Yeah, so that's your kind of you know, your jacking options, your I/O options. And obviously at the back, it's just a single 1-inch out, which I'm assuming is mono. Yeah, and then MIDI in and MIDI out through, and then obviously USB. Haven't played with any of the USB because I know there's a little tool for helping you write the ARP. So your little tool, and I imagine you sync up USB, send the pattern over. Bob's your uncle. That is probably super useful, because it's my feeling is that programming it is a bit of a hassle, because the old-fashioned one was, and this is a recreation, so fair enough. Now, what doesn't really make a lot of sense to me is the button up here at the top left is the tune button, which means kind of like a sort of a modular instrument. You'd need to tune it, which seems a little... I'm not really sure why they've included that. I mean, yeah, because the original had it. Okay, that's a good reason, I suppose. The thing is, if you're taking this on the road and you knocked the tuning button as you're taking out your bag, that means that tune. That means you need to tune it before you can use it, right? So you think, well, I can just turn it all the way down and I'll know what key I'm in. Well, there's a problem. So if I bring it to where it was, let's just look. I've got Reatune open on Reaper, so let's just tune it with Reatune. Okay, so that's I'd say is in tune. Lucky, that was some lucky dialing from Mark. Now let's turn it all the way to the left. So it's not actually a real octave. That comes in at C sharp. I don't really understand that. I don't really understand why it just wouldn't be one of the semitone, and then you go from a low C to then this kind of mid position, which is a C. So then if all the way to the right, what's this? That's a G sharp 3. So it's just... that seems to me as being really kind of, I don't know, because you could imagine even like performing live, you could knock the tuning button, so then that means you're tuning on the fly by ear, which is fine, but like it just seems like an extra hassle that you really don't need, especially given this is essentially a digital unit. It's got USB, right? So, even to put this on kind of like these guys are kind of on, they're sort of clicky buttons. They could have maybe done that with the tune, but also if they didn't do that, when it was all the way off, make sure that's down to a low C, and then this point an octave up, and then even this point an octave up again. That just seems a little bit. That would annoy me, and it kind of, if I was gigging with this, that would upset me. That would upset me because I'd be constantly worried I was going to knock it out of tune. So just that just seems a little bit peculiar. I think we can probably sum this up now. So I mean, this is literally my first time playing with it. It only came through my door about a week ago, so I can't do a in-depth tutorial how to program it. But obviously it's got the MIDI connection. That was not a hassle at all to get it talking to Reaper. So start sending art patterns to it from Reaper. That worked a treat. I mean, I don't even know how to change the MIDI channel, to be honest. I think it was set to MIDI channel 1, which is good, because otherwise I'd be like, what channel is it on? So, and there's definitely scope there with the I/O, the patching there for potentially some interesting experiments and incorporating it with other instruments in the studio. So I think there's probably scope for some more experiments, some more playing. Anyway, yeah. So Art Pack, link in the description. It's all D minor 126 BPM. All right, cheers, folks.